Hello guys, it's Avcoor back with some more Final Fantasy Ever Crisis content, and I would like to talk about the breach weapons. So, the newest weapon that we got from Sephiroth is a really strong breach weapon, and we've seen a evolution of this weapon from Red 13 to now Sephiroth, and there's a clear distinction in the power of these weapons, and I want to go over why they're good and the ranking of these four weapons. So, first question, why are these weapons good? The reason why breach weapons are good, because not only do you deal damage, but you actually apply a breach. You are able to reduce the elemental weakness resistance of an enemy, which allows your DPSs to kill faster. So it's a support weapon, but it also gives you offensive options. And that's always great because it reduces the thinking and building a team for a certain type of monster or a certain type of build, which is always really good. I hate to say this, but sometimes you really want to dumb it down when it comes to strategies and Final Fantasy Ever Crisis because you do get lost in team building. And breach weapons are a great way to assign a role to a character and have them execute it. Like for instance, if you are fighting a lightning based enemy, Red 13 has a lightning breach weapon. An ice enemy, such as a Efreet in the new dungeon challenge, Lucia is great there. So with these weapons, you are given the option to create a team to DPS an elementally based weak enemy faster. And that is so potent. And you really can't underestimate the value of that. So what I want to do in this video is rank these weapons. And we'll go in order and you'll see that the devs themselves were actually getting better at making these weapons. But you'll also see that each of these weapons are still good. No matter where I rank them, they are still good because one element only one weapon can do, right? So let's start with the weakest weapon on this list. And it has to be none other than Red 13 because he's like eternally cucked as a character. But for the most part, this is where the devs were just testing out this weapon. Theory crafting. It was from the summer event where we had Tifa and Red 13. This is the only costume that he got along with his own special weapon. So Seaside collar is important for a couple of reasons. So what makes this weapon good? Well, Power Fang does 320 physical non-elemental damage with a crit rate. But this is actually important. Crit rates are actually important on weapons. They actually increase your damage. Also, the most important thing, thunder resist is decreased. Mid potency, and when you do it twice, max potency, which is really good. So what this means, you hit for 2 drops, and if you hit again, 3 drops down. So your cloud or your air is doing massive amounts of lightning damage, which is really good. So after this, we see the first weakness in the weapon is the fact that Regan is applied. So the thing about this is an argument is made that it gives Red 13 the sustain that he needs for long battles, but the role that this weapon is giving you is basically asking you to do damage and to lower resistance to an element, something that is not accomplished by Regan. Regan is good, but it's not necessary. You would really want for him to have some of the other effects that the newer weapons would give. So this is the first weakness. So let's go to the next weakness, R abilities. The thing about Red 13 is he's actually a good character, but he's hampered by his R abilities. So these R abilities for this weapon are good, but they're just not good for him and what you're trying to do. Like when we get to max, you're getting 40 HP and 36 points of lightning potency. If this is a sub weapon for Cloud, this is really good because he's getting 20 points of HP and he's getting 18 points of lightning potency, which is really good. But for Red 13, you're asking him to attack and you're not giving him the R abilities he needs in order to attack. I would really like to see this replaced with the P attack bonus that the other weapons give. It's not bad, but there are better R abilities that would help him deal more damage for his attack support role. So this is a weakness. It's not bad, but it's still a weakness. And you'll see that erased in the newer weapons as they come out. And also the attack on this weapon is lower because they want to give him a little more heal so he can increase his sustain. It's good, but the thing about Final Fantasy Ever Crisis, people really become to understand is that you want singular focus. If he DPSs, he must DPS. If he heals, he must heal. Or if she's a support, she must support. And like when you try to do two things that are far apart from each other, it doesn't work. You actually want more physical attack and less heal. It should be a dump stat, and it wasn't, so that's not good. Another weakness. So this is another weakness. They keep cucking Red 13 with his support material and his R abilities. The Sigil boost is good. This was one of the better parts of the weapon. The breach and the Sigil boost are good. But why are you giving him attack boost? He doesn't need that. He would prefer to have like P attack, right? You want him to have physical attack boost on his material so he can do more damage on the physical side. So yeah, this weapon is good, but when we get to the other weapons, you'll see that they are far superior to this one. And it's not that the weapon is bad, it's just not as good as others. So we move to the next one on the list, and it's none other than Bald Eagle. Bald Eagle is good for a couple of reasons. Once again, the devs actually were thinking about how to improve this weapon, and they improved it. So you're doing 340% physical non-elemental damage with the crit rate, 10%. Also, ice resistance is decreased, potency mid, range single enemy, duration 20 seconds, and extended 6 seconds with match potency high. Not bad. So this is not bad. So we're starting off really good. And of course, when you see here, you're seeing 544. In fact, this is actually power creep because the heal is actually higher than Red 13's, which is pretty sus. So at max investment, you're dealing 540% physical non-elemental damage with the crit rate. Also, ice resistance is decreased, potency high, which is really good. Duration 25 seconds, extended by 8 seconds when you do it twice. Max potency high. I just want to show you something that even at OB6, the potency is still high. So if you don't want to go to OB10, you don't have to in order to get the 3 stacks of ice resist down. So that's something that you need to know. So what are the weaknesses in this weapon? What holds it back from the next 2 weapons that are coming up? Well, there's only one thing that holds it back. Remember, Red 13 had an extra ability along with his attack besides the ice resist, right? Well, Lucia didn't come with anything. In fact, Lucia didn't even come with a costume. Whereas everyone else on this list who came with a breach weapon actually come with a costume with that said breach weapon. So that hurt her. Not too bad, but it still hurt her. Not having an extra effect hurt her as well. The R abilities are premium on this weapon. 54 P attack is insane. So there is an incentive to OB10 this if you're a Lucia player, because you're pretty much clearing your physical attack requirements for almost any weapon. Because if this goes down to half, you're looking at 27 points if you do it as a sub weapon. And that's really good, because some weapons like War Machine actually top out at 27 P attack. So this is really good. 36 points of boost ice potency is really good. Yeah, no complaints about the R abilities. They're actually really premium. So, once again, there's a flaw here, and it's attack boost. If you have 54 points of P attack on an OB10 weapon, why would you have attack boost? There's really no need. This weapon designates her as a physical attacker, therefore she would like to have 2 P attacks on this weapon. In fact, you actually want 1 P attack, 1 attack ice boost, and 1 sigil. And 1 sigil boost, right? So, whereas Red 13 didn't have an elemental boost on his weapon, but a sigil boost, she has an elemental boost on her weapon, but not a sigil boost. So, that's one of the weaknesses of this weapon, and the fact that it doesn't have an extra effect on the main attack. Still good. In fact, way better than Red 13's weapon, but the devs actually make improvements on the weapon. So we're looking now at Black Whiskers. Black Whiskers is where the devs really start to peak. They're near perfection in their formula for a breach weapon. So Swirl Drop is doing 340% physical non-elemental damage. Single enemy crit rate 10%. But get this, you're actually reducing physical defense. This is huge. So not only are you breaching the enemy, but you're lowering their physical defense. This is what made Zack rise as a star in Final Fantasy Ever Crisis. This weapon took him to new heights, along with the costume that gave him the HP plus 10 and the physical attack plus 10. This is extremely premium. For you to do 2 things, breach the enemy and reduce physical defense, is something that both Lucia and Red 13 were missing. So the potency is mid, the duration is 20 seconds, extended by 6 seconds, max potency mid. Water resist is decreased, potency low, duration 20 seconds, extended by 6 seconds, max potency low. So let's go to OB6. Deals 480% physical non-elemental damage, range single enemy, crit rate 10%, physical defense decrease, potency mid. Now we're looking at 26 seconds, extended 8 seconds, still mid. Water resistance is decreased, potency mid, and then your max potency is mid. So let's hit OB10 and let's see what happens. So also you're getting 540% physical non-elemental damage. Your physical defense is decreased, potency mid. Single enemy, now we're getting 30 seconds, max potency mid. So water resist is decreased, potency mid, but now we go to high. So you see the evolution of the weapons where Lucia actually gets to her max potency quicker than Zack does, but Zack is just doing more with this weapon. So this is extremely good. You really want to OB10 this weapon. And look at his R abilities. He gets the same set of R abilities that Lucia gets, just for water. So these are premium. And notice that he still gets the 540 P attack, the 229 heal is premium. But here is where the improvements happen. Look at his R abilities. His materia slots are perfect. So he gets a physical attack boost, he gets attack boost water, and he gets his sigil boost. So he gets everything he wants in this weapon. This is a very complicated set of materia slots, but this allows him to effectively debuff the opponent, sigil break, and then deal elemental damage with water, and also to do something extra if you needed him to. Like whatever physical attack ability you need to put on him, you can put on him. So this weapon is absolutely premium. To an extent that I'm thinking about switching my wish list over to Black Whiskers because it's so good. I tested this out in Ramu, and the results are absolutely horrifying. My Cloud's weapon is not even that good. It's a OB1 maritime sword, and I'm clearing like very hard, really easily because of this weapon. So yeah, this is like an extremely good weapon. So now we move on to Sephiroth. Sephiroth's weapon is actually better than Zack's for a few reasons. Very minute reasons. Very minute. So let's get into it. So of course we got the P attack fire boost. So at OB1, you're dealing 340% physical non-elemental damage, single enemy, crit rate 10%. Your physical defense is decreased, potency mid, and your max potency is mid. When your HP is 50% or more, fire resist is decreased, potency low. But notice this, max potency mid. So unlike Zack, he actually can at just base value get to mid, whereas Zack at base value doesn't get there as quickly. He just low mid. It's absolutely insane. They gave him more speed on his weapon. So let's move forward. So you're getting 480% physical non-elemental damage. Your physical defense is decreased, potency mid, duration 26 seconds, max potency mid. Excuse me. When your HP is 50% or more, fire resistance decreased. Now look at it. It's potency high. At OB6, potency high. That's crazy. I mean, so you really don't really need to take this weapon as far as OB6. That's basically what they're saying. This weapon's so powerful that you're getting 46 points of P attack on the weapon already. That's higher than Cloud's weapon, which actually only gives you 40. So you're only getting 40 P attack on Cloud's weapon, and you're getting 24 points of fire potency. That's insane for an OB6 weapon. I know that the attack is lower, but it is a support weapon. He's basically supporting another person by lowering the defense and lowering the fire resist of a unit that you're trying to kill. So this isn't bad. At OB6, this isn't bad at all. I mean, there's massive incentives for you to go to OB10, but if you are free to play, if you're a light spender, you can stop at OB6. And you still would get more than most people would get out of this weapon. Because I don't think many people actually invested into getting Radiant Edge. I think they went more for the Sky Splitter. So I don't even see that many Sephiroths running around. I haven't even played with one Sephiroth with costume and sword. So this is really good. So let's take it all the way up. So you're getting the 540 physical non-elemental damage. Also P defense is decreased, and you're getting potency mid, 30 seconds, and then your max potency is mid. Notice that all of these weapons, their physical defense actually tops out at mid. Honestly, I think this is really good, because if this was max potency and you get max potency on this would be utterly broken. I know later on they'll do that, but I'm glad they didn't do that right now. I think that'd have been a little too much. So this is good. I'm glad there was some restraint with the devs. I think the next weapon that comes out will actually break this mode for power creep. We'll look for that, but I think they're going to break this mode for power creep. So when your HP is 50% or more, fire resistance decreased, potency high. The 30 seconds is that's clutch, and you extend it by 10 more seconds. That's 40 seconds. Man, that's a lifetime. That's at least 3 attacks from a Cloud. So that's really good. And you're getting 54 points of P attack and 36 points of fire potency. So this is the second physical weapon that Sephiroth needed to be a serious physical DPS. So he could do both now. He could do physical and magic, which is insane. But look at his attack, man. So they mid-maxed this guy. They said, screw the healing, because you don't use that. And they pumped his attack up to 561. That's crazy. Man, and they gave him like 436 points of magic attack. Some weapons actually top out at 436 magic attack. This is absolutely nuts. Absolutely insane. Now look at his material slots. He has the same set of material slots that Zack had, and he gets his P attack, he gets his fire attack boost, and he gets his sigil break, which is this is premium. This is absolutely a perfect set of support material. That's absolutely insane, man. So the last caveat of what makes this weapon better than Zack is the combination of his costume with his weapon, because he actually can increase his potency beyond what Red. No, only Red 13 can do what. No, Red 13 can't do it either. Red 13 got HP and attack. Yeah, so he got HP and attack. This guy actually gets fire mastery on his costume and HP. So his actual fire damage will exceed that of all three of them, which is really insane if you get the costume. This is a very hard part for me because I want to get the costume, but I'm not a well, so I don't think I'll have the money. So I'm gonna try to see what I can do with my free to play crystals. But if I get the opportunity, I will try to get his costume, because the absolute combination of it all makes him insanely good. Like if you get this dude's costume, then if you stop at OB6 as a non-well player, it's not that hard for you to get through content. That's how insane his whole setup is. In fact, this is the strongest breach weapon costume combination that we have seen in Final Fantasy Ever Crisis, and it makes me excited because if they are getting this good at constructing a weapon breach set with a costume, think about what they're going to do in the future. It's absolutely bonkers. Yeah, but anyway, if you like this content, hit the like, share, subscribe button. It helps out the channel. But more importantly, let me know what your thoughts are on the breach weapons. What breach weapons do you use? I just got a hold of them, and I've been using black whiskers all the time now for water clear. So I'm really excited about this weapon. But anyways, have a great day and laters.